Hello, I wanted to show you an example of what I was saying. A practical example. Let's make Spanish. I speak Spanish quite well, but I think I'm going to go with Spanish. Even if with French it would be even more of a challenge. I will do both, okay? I will do both. One Spanish and one French. So, I'm interested in technology, okay? And now I am going to search on the internet Samsung Galaxy S5 and yes, brother. Okay, I'm going to pause this video just a little bit. Okay, so let's go again with the video. Sorry if for the pause. And so I searched for Samsung Galaxy S5 on the internet, but I already know something about this Samsung Galaxy S5. Okay? And well, yeah, here we have an example. Los cookies nos permiten ofrecer nuestros servicios. Al utilizar nuestros servicios, aceptas el uso que hacemos de las cookies. So, it is saying, what can be saying? This word is a known word because cookies are a thing that there is on the internet and they are everywhere. And if you remember what this thing says in English, you will be able to understand what it says in Spanish too. And this means, okay, I understood. So if you make clicks, you'll not pay attention to this advice. So click, yeah, and it's done. Now let's click here, and this says Samsung Galaxy S5 Prime, primeras imágenes. This text, what can it be speaking about? Let me just skim through it. So this is saying, puede haber gustado más o menos. Y claro, buque insignia de la casa coreana. Una versión prime del dispositivo. Este palabra, sorry, I'm going to do this video in English, not because I don't want to do it in Spanish, but because you were just starting off with Spanish and it would be not understandable for you if I speak Spanish right now. So, prime is a technical word and means better. And if you look down here, it means premium. It's written una versión premium. Version is a friend. It means version. It's very similar to English. So, here we have a question. ¿En qué consiste esa variante? Variante is similar to variable. And these, and these are very simple words. So you just click here. And this means about the verb to be. So, what's this variant? And it says, for example, this phrase is just a little bit hard, so we'll ignore this phrase, and it says, acompañada de materiales nobles. So noble is very, very similar to English, so it means noble. Materials also very, very similar, and acompañada means with. So we can understand that there is a version of this phone that is more premium and has materials that are more worth. So, for example, we can see right here. Desde el punto de vista hardware is hardware, and yeah, this means about. It's a long way to say about. So about hardware. So for example, we will have a screen with QHD resolution. En lo que respecta al acabado, su cuerpo estaría concebido en aluminio. Cuerpo means body. Hysteria means is. We can think about this, and yeah, this means that it is more. So, as I already know that the Samsung Galaxy S5 is made out of plastic, if I read here and say this new is made out of aluminium, then I can understand that this is a change for the better. And here it says there are lots and lots of pixels, so resolution is very similar to the English word, and this word is not important, so no es un cambio trivial para el hardware interno. This is not a small change, and Qualcomm Snapdragon 3 GB de RAM. And right down below you can read here, and you see, los chicos de iPhone están compartiendo lo que consideran que son las primeras imágenes. Okay, so sometimes you really have to focus only on keywords. So, las primeras imágenes. Primeras is a very basic word, it means first, okay? And here you have S because it is plural. And here you have some images. And este. So what you have to do is to really focus on context and to base yourself on something you already know. Okay? So I already knew this phone, and here I am reading a new news about this phone in another language, and I understanding it because I already know something about this phone. Okay? Right now I'm going to do this in French, and this is going to be much harder because I studied Spanish 3 years, so already obviously I know it very well, even if I'm forgetting it, but yeah, I know Spanish very well, but French, not so well. So I think I'm going to search for the Mac Air, and I'm going to read here. And for example, of course, as in only little French, I can use dictionary. Okay, so let's the dictionary. And what is it saying here? I already know something about refurb. Okay, le refurb. This is a thing that Apple does to sell again old things. So, I am reading d'excellence MacBook Air sulla refurb de matin. Matin is a friend with Italian, so I know that means morning. So, de matin will mean something like this morning. And excellence means excellent. So, there are some excellent MacBook Air on the place where Apple sells used things, and it says there are machines of all the different kinds, but not MacBook Pros. Okay, this means not, this means without, tranne, without. So, sono largamente disponibles, are largely available. A vacant choice, the model is vast. With a big choice, it's very similar to English, so you really have to focus on what is similar with the language, because it will give you a starting point from which you can try to understand the rest of the text. If you don't understand, you can use the vocabulary, and it will give you the meaning of the words. Okay, for example, this word tandis, I don't even have an idea, so let's see. It means mentre, in the meantime, something like this. Let's see what this phrase means. Yeah, so this was a hard phrase. Look at this. It was long 3 lines, almost 4 lines, but I managed to understand it. Because it says that there are a lot of MacBook Airs with a very big choice of things, even one from 2012. And yeah, these two words, what's the meaning? Well, it's not important, 2 words is not a great deal. And because you may want different things, this means something like because there are different kind of things that you may want, or something like this. And on trouver is friend with Italian, it means to find. Large is very similar to English of iPod. So you will find also, this word means also, it's a very basic word. I learned it about day 3 or day 4, something like this. After 3 or 4 days I already knew this word, egglement. I actually don't know how to pronounce it very well, but it means also. Anche, also. But nowadays there are not. This means nowadays there are not iPad mini Retina che sono dependendo ormai. Okay, this phrase is very hard, so I'll have to concentrate a lot in order to understand what's going on here. Yeah, so perhaps because a language is hard, so even if I'm studying French from something like 20 days, I'm not actually understanding very much this phrase, but it means something like there are not iPad mini Retina, there is not the iPad mini Retina, because perhaps it will come later. But I may be wrong. Okay? Of course, the more you read, the more you do this exercise, sorry, the more you will be able to understand. For example, listen to my voice, okay? This is a very good video. My first videos in English were awful. So, doing English videos, I've been learning English a lot. And now you can see that I have also this lovely British accent that I found very lovely. So, and on Truth and Finn Anovex this Apple TV. So, we can come with the logic. So, we spoke about Macs, we spoke about iPads. What sells? What can we find? iPhones? Yes, we may find iPhones, but here it is about Apple TVs. So, on Truth, real friend with Italian means find. In Finn, another friend with Italian. At the end, Nevux, another friend with Italian, new Apple TVs. So you'll find at the end new Apple TVs. Okay? So, of course, this is not simple. I am not saying that it is simple. I am not. Okay? But with hard work and dedication, you can really do this. Okay? So the first 3 days, 4 days, you will feel like you're wasting your time. I'm going to say it very plainly. I'm not going to put sugar on this. So for the first day you'll be like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? This is just impossible. But if you'll practice, it will become just a little bit easier, and just a little bit easier each single day. And at the end, you will be able to read just for pleasure. Just for pleasure. Just to enjoy yourself in another language. And believe me, it's awesome. I can read fluent in 3 months just with pleasure. It's extremely easy for me to read that. But this is not a thing that comes for free. I really had to read, something like 10,000 pages in English before I could read it comfortably without using a dictionary and understanding most of it. So if after something like 5 days you think like you're exactly the same at the start, continue working, and after 2 weeks or even 1 week, if you really put a thought into it, and you will have something to show up. You'll understand some phrase, for example 1 phrase out of 5. This is not little, this is a lot. Okay? Of course you'll have to practice daily, because that's the way to learn things. If you want to learn hard things such as a language, you have to practice each day, because otherwise you will forget what you did. Okay? So try not to skip even a single day. That's my advice. Okay? It's, in my opinion, it's an important part to not skip days. So I hope you enjoyed watching these videos, and I try to give you as much advice as possible, okay, about how to learn, how to read a new language. Of course, speaking is very similar. Just instead of going to a website, just to try to meet with a native speaker of your language or something like this, bring with you a phrasebook and try to speak, if not each day, something like 3 or 4 times per week, because otherwise you will progress very, very slowly. Okay? So this is the end of this video. I know learning language is not a thing that you can do for free. It takes effort, but if you put effort into it, a new world opens. And as always, well, not always, but it's cool. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.